This video is regarding lessons learned when you're out there flounder fishing.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bob Stavola of B-Stav on YouTube. I wanted to do a video. I don't necessarily think I'm going to go out fishing today. So I wanted to kind of do like a recap of some of my last videos. And we're going to call this, the theme here is lessons learned. So I apologize. I'm kind of had to maneuver myself around here in my office. So I'm going to have to look down every once in a while at my notes. But at the same point in time, let's see if we can key on the lessons that we've learned in the last couple of trips out. Let's key off of yesterday. Yesterday's biggest lesson, I think, was gulp versus squid. Old versus new. The old dog and the young dog. The old bull and the young bull. Now listen, we all heard about the old bull and the young bull standing on top of the hill looking down at all the beautiful cows. The young bull says, I'm going to run down there and I'm gonna date one of those cows. And the old bull looks over and says, I'm gonna walk down and I'm gonna date them all. So I get it. The old bulls, there's always something to learn, and I'm all about that. But at the same point in time, when we got to change with the times, right? We kind of have to upgrade our methods. I've done it. I'm still doing it. I'm always going to try and do it. There are times though I get stubborn and I stick with what works for me, what's been working, and I don't progress the way I should, i.e., not going with a lighter jig head. So, but anyway, so yesterday, gulp versus squid, the old versus new, and we saw gulp won. Dragging bait in the back bay versus jigging won. Let's see, and just another thing too, it's know when to say when. At what point in time do you say, you know what, my way's not working? Let me use something new. Let me key on what's going on, what actually is working. And that being said, this isn't me taking a shot at anybody. Like, I had the honor of having one of my best kid I was baptized with, having his dad out on my boat. And, I just lost my pop last year. We weren't that close anymore, but, everybody, all our parents, all my core group of friends, our parents are all getting up in the years. They're all in their 70s, creeping up on 80. And it's a transition. You're starting to see your folks getting sick and unfortunately passing away. And it was an honor having my buddy's dad, Charlie, out on my boat yesterday. And he is, here's a guy that you could fix anything. When he was a young guy back in his 30s and 40s, he was built, his chest looked honestly like a 55-gallon drum. He was a monster. He was a beast. He was ripped to shreds. And he was a good fisherman, and back in the day when we were kids in high school, that's what we did. Squid and mini. And I invited him. I finally got him to come out on the boat. And I told him, don't bring anything. I got everything for you. Don't worry about it. I'll teach you a whole new way. He got out of his car, and out of his trunk, he pulls his old rod, and he pulled out a thing of, squid. And, it was all I could do to just laugh. I'm like, okay, you want to use it, use it. And we joked about it all day long yesterday. And, man, I would have wanted nothing more than to see him rope into a decent flounder. It just didn't come to be. But at the same time, at the end of the day, there were hugs being given out, and it meant a lot, I think, to both of us that he was out there on the boat, and we had a great time. So, and he went home with some fish that yours truly caught. So, anyhow, moving on, Procure. I am telling you, I find that every time, listen, gulp is phenomenal. I have hundreds of dollars worth of gulp on my boat and in my ready bag, my gear bag. I have at least four other jars of gulp that are set up on the boat. I love gulp. I buy just the jars or the containers of gulp juice to make sure I'm keeping everything soaked in gulp juice. So, however, every time I put that Procure shrimp on the grub, bang, I was getting hits. It just, listen, it works. It absolutely works. When you go to put Procure on any of your jigs or your rubber worms or whatever it is that you're using, Dry them off. Take a towel that doesn't have any other scent on it. You know, no bug spray, no nothing like that. Take a towel, pat them dry, put that Pro-Cure on the spot where you dried, and it'll actually adhere. The gel adheres a lot better. And I'm telling you, every time I did that, I had fish on. Set the hook. Set the hook hard. You know, you think, I'm in 4 foot of water. How hard do I have to set the hook? Bury that hook. Bury that barb. Set the hook hard. Don't ever let up. Especially on flounder, don't ever let up. You will see me every now and then when I know the flounder's small. You will see me hold the flounder's head above water. And the New Jersey Wildlife Fishing Game Manual, they actually say to do that. So you can get the fish will hook or unhook itself and shake its head and actually shake itself off. Believe it or not, you're actually causing less harm, less stress really on the fish because you're not taking it out of water. You're not handling it. You know, I always try to handle with wet hands. I don't like using a rag unless the rag is wet. We don't want to wipe the slime off the fish, but we got to get the hook out, right? So, but if you know that fish is short, give it a couple seconds, you know, pull its head out of the water just a little bit. That's how many times we lose fish at the top of the water. You take a flounder's head out of water, we're going to 9 times out of 10 lose it, okay? So give that a shot. Trust your plan. You saw me comment on that yesterday about trusting my plan. I had a plan, and, you know, it's Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not a big sports guy by any stretch. I watch fishing and hunting all day long, and I watch golf. But the Philadelphia 76ers, they used to say, you know, trust the process. If you have a plan, stick to it. Now, you need to know, you know, you need to adapt, overcome, and improvise and modify along the way. But if you have a plan, stick to your plan. Go with that plan. You believed in it. You did something, some type of background, you formulated some type of information and absorbed that information, processed it to come up with your plan. Stick to your plan. And I stuck to my plan yesterday, and it worked. My plan was to keep fishing the drop-offs, fishing the areas that, one, have been producing fish, but they're producing fish because of the area that they are, the structure, the slopes, the drop-offs, the transitions. I stuck to my plan. We came home with 3 keeper flounder, a weak fish, it's 16-inch weak fish, and we caught all total around a dozen flounder yesterday. And it's been producing each time I go out. Break away from the crowds. Holy mackerel. The area that I fish has at least, let's see, you'll see one party boat, one pontoon party boat will come back in there. And you'll have another charter boat, 6-pack charter. This captain owns 2 boats. They come back in there. And my one buddy, one of my dearest friends, Captain Jerry Lynch of Diamond Jig Charters, he comes back in there. I fish there because of him, because the man is, when nobody else is catching, this guy is slaying fish, right? So I listen to everything he says. I absorb it. I watch. I look. I learn. And when he's back, you know, he's back there running charters. And there's another guy, buddy of mine, Captain Chuck. He's back there. I saw all these guys back where we were all fishing yesterday. And now, I get out of their way. Let these guys, they're working. These six-pack charter captains, they're working, you know. So I get out of their way. The problem is, and I've done that even when I used to fish out in Cape May, out in the ocean, out in the Cape May Reef. I get out of their way. The party boats, get out of their way. Let them work. We all know that there's the majority of people, unfortunately, and it's usually the people, I hate to say it, but don't pave their own way, don't have a plan. What do? They see these Sharpies out there, and man, they get right on top of them. They follow their drift. They cut their drifts off. And it kills me. You know, number one, they're working. Number two, they busted their rear end to gain that knowledge, you know, to figure out where the fish are. You know, why don't you try to do the same? You know, give it a shot. Now, at the same point in time, we all want to go out and catch fish. So, you know, there's a happy medium. Me personally, stay out of their way. But man, I saw up in one of the channels, there were multiple boats up in these channels. And one of the guys I passed, like, oh, you know, why don't you head up there? Nope. I know my buddy was up there catching the day prior. He's probably catching up there now, but everybody else knows that these guys are good fishermen, and they all hone in on them. I break away from the pack, break away from the crowd. Personally, fish an area where nobody's fishing. You don't need 5 and 10 boats going over an area, and then you're going to go and you're going to expect that you're going to be the one that catches. Blaze your own trail in this world, okay, and on the water. Don't chase reports. Okay, we all hear this. Don't chase reports, make reports. Listen, you listen to what's going on. Hey, I was back such and such an area. I did well. I caught fish. Okay, I'm going to key on that. But I'm not going to chase it down. You know, I'm going to make my own reports. I'm going to take what I hear. I'm going to process it. I'm going to add it to see if it works with my plan. See if it's worthy of adjusting my plan. And I'm going to go out and do my own thing. People keep asking, hey, you know, could you tell me what area you are? Listen, if you listen to my videos, you know where I'm at, okay? Guys, I'm nobody that's setting the world on fire, okay? I have friends that are north of me in skinny water, and they are catching 2- and 3-man limits. If there's 2 guys on the boat or there's 3 guys on that boat, they are catching limits every time they're out. And I know so because I see what he posts. You know, I'm on Snapchat. My buddy doesn't like to, you know, overwhelm social media with what he's doing, but I see what he's doing. I'll call him. I'll FaceTime this one buddy and literally watch what he's doing, and it's the most incredible thing. So there's fish all over these South Jersey back bays, all over these South Jersey back bays. I was coming over the Parkway Bridge yesterday and looked to my right, looked east. Sweet mother of pearl. It looked like the Dadville Regatta out there. There were boats on top of boats on top of boats. Break away from the pack. You know, don't chase reports, make reports. Be brave. You know, be brave. Like, I don't know if I should try this area. Try it. What's the worst you're going to do? Obviously, we got to make sure we don't get stuck. You know, I have a skiff. I have a Carolina skiff. I have a trolling Minn-coated trolling motor off the bow of my boat. If I have to lift up my Evinrude E-Tech and scoot through, I don't have a jack plate. I wish I did, but I know I can get into 2 foot of water safely, and I'm still okay. You know, I might have to raise the Minn-coat up a little bit to walk my way back out, but I'm okay. Be brave. Go into an area that you don't normally go into. Give it a shot. Fish the shallows if your boat, you know, will allow you to. Fish as shallow as your boat allows you to. Springtime, again, I talk about it, you know, springtime back bay action. The flounder are in the back bays in the early spring. As early as March. April, loaded. I mean, you saw some of my preseason videos. We were catching flounder hand over fist. And, of course, I think they have the calendar that we do. Opening day, it's like a bell goes off and they all get lockjaw. But, you know, back bays, man. Get in these back bays. And it isn't just where I fish. It isn't just, you know, the grassy sound in Wildwood. It isn't just, you know, I can go on and on and on in all the popular areas. You know, Atlantic City, Brigantine, back in Absecon and Galloway area, Summers Point. We can come right Ocean City, Margate. Everybody's catching fish in these back bays. Some areas are just notorious for holding real nice fish. Me personally, I find those areas are the ones that are closest to inlets. Think about it. You know, is it easier for you to climb through a window to get into a house or walk through the front door? Same thing for the fish. They're walking through the front door. They're walking through these inlets, and then they're taking up shop in the back bays right near those inlets. Match to hatch. We all hear about this. This is a big fly fisherman thing, right? Match to hatch. Match to hatch. So you'll see on yesterday's video, I pulled a flounder out of the water, and you'll see me. I'm looking like, what the hell's sticking out of his mouth? And actually, it was in his gully. Was, you know, as you're catching flounder, as you're reeling them in, 9 times out of 10, they're throwing shit up. They're trying to, like, evacuate the dance floor and get the hell out of Dodge. And they're puking everything they ate up. Unless it's something, you know, that big and substantial that it's still stuck in their stomach. I've seen them puke up shrimp, crabs, killies, spearing, shiners, whatever you want to call them. What else? Yesterday, sand eel. I pulled a sand eel out of this flounder's mouth, And my buddy's like, no, don't throw it back in. I'm like, well, we can't put it on the hook. It's half digested. And I chucked it at him. But, you know, match the hatch. I just dropped my paper. Give me a second. All right, that being said, I'm sure you just got a catching my bald spot again. The camera adds 10 pounds, but it doesn't add hair to your head. Yesterday, I had to jump in the water, and again, I'm going to couple this with being brave. I realized my transducer bracket was flipping up. So I'm like, oh man, I must have hit something, or there was a lot of salt grass where I'm at, gets under the boat, and sure enough, it must have popped up my transducer. And I realized it wasn't holding, it was a little loose. And I tightened it up at the beginning of the season, so I had to make a choice. What was I going to do? You know, was I going to bring my trailer down, pull the boat out of the water for literally a 10-second fix? Or am I just going to go maybe to one of the, the areas where people kind of beach their boats, put the boat in spot lock, work my way in, and, give it a shot. So I thought I was in deeper than what I was. And you'll see I had a life vest on. I had myself tied off to a cleat on the boat. I also had my buddy and his dad out there. And when I jumped off the back of the boat, I was standing in water. So I was in 2 foot of water. So, but be brave and, get out there and do what you need to do. And the camera definitely does not add hair to the top of your head. Be ready to change things up. I said have your plan, but just be ready to adjust your plan, Adapt, overcome, improvise. It's a great movie quote. It works. You can't be so set in your ways that if something's not 100% working, that you're not going to, give 2% of a try. So, give it a try. Give something a chance. Change it up a little bit. And I want to end with this. Make a list of who you want to take fishing. You never know what tomorrow brings. And over this last year, we never know what tomorrow is going to take away from us as well. So make a list. I've got a list, a little bit of a running list right now on who I want to take out fishing with me. And again, I'll end on yesterday was a big deal for me. It was, my buddy, a kid I was baptized with. We've been at each other's weddings, lifelong friends. His kids call me Uncle Bobby. And we always say it's another Bob and Mike's excellent adventure, and but make a list. And on that list, I've been wanting to take his dad fishing for the longest time, and it meant the world having him out there yesterday. So I'm hoping to get him back out again. Charlie, if you're watching, you're coming back out. Leave your rod at home. And maybe we can get you jigging and get you roped into a couple nice back bay flounder. So, guys, listen, some of your comments, I see some people really posting some great information. I hope that the rest of you are, reading other people's comments. Again, that's what I was talking about. Be observant. Observe your surroundings. If all you're doing is on a Sunday right now, I should be out fishing, but we're sitting home making videos and watching videos, read people's comments. Sometimes somebody will post a comment and they'll offer a suggestion as to what they're doing. Give it a shot. I went from 20-pound Power Pro down to 15-pound Power Pro. Maybe I should drop down to 10-pound Power Pro. Maybe I should drop down to 15-pound Seaguar Red Label leader. Maybe I should stop fishing a 1-ounce jig and drop down to a 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce. Guys are fishing a 1/4 ounce jig. Maybe I should give it a shot. Be observant, take everything in, and try to make yourself and be better, and try to help others be better too. So, guys, if you like this channel, please subscribe. I sincerely love the fact that I wake up every day and, there's new notifications from YouTube that I have new subscribers and new likes. And if you like these videos, please hit the like button. Okay. God bless. Stay safe. Make a list. Take somebody special out there fishing. Thanks.